Welcome in everybody live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are getting ready to go racing dash for cash style for race number 2 here at the Lanier National Speedway for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. Things are getting ready to get absolutely crazy here tonight in Brastleton, Georgia. Getting ready to tackle on the 0.37 mile length asphalt oval here in Georgia as these guys continue to battle on the qualifying session here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel's I-85 Asphalt Series Dash for Cash live at the Lanier Speedway here in the United States of America at the beautiful Brastleton, Georgia. A awesome brand new fresh update on the Lanier Speedway means to us that these guys are in a world of trouble here tonight on a brand new scanned surface, walls. Everything you see here on your screen tonight is absolutely brand spanking new. The practice has already been concluded here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Evans will be the #1 fastest driver in practice. Can he keep that WHELEN modified up and moving here in the qualifying session? We'll figure it out here in just a moment. These guys continue to pick off the laps here. Why I have it on my head and why I am thinking about it, we'll go ahead and bring up the points from 2 weeks ago to kick off the Dash for Cash. This is how it'll work, folks. I'm going to go ahead and correct myself. 2 weeks ago, I did mention that there would be a almost $200 payout to the winner of the season. However, though, I was mistakenly wrong. That payout purse will be spread out between the top 10 drivers, with the first place spot getting the most money out of that purse. So the 1 through 10 positions on your screen are labeled in green. Those will be the prize money positions. A awesome race 2 weeks ago from Michael Johnson, won the heat race. Even though he didn't win the race over Danny Willis, he was able to score out of there with an extra bonus point to keep himself the #1 seat spot. Danny Willis with the win 2 weeks ago, but I don't believe he's in the field here tonight. We'll have to see if he makes his return here in a couple weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, as we throw it back here to the main broadcast cam, waiting on the conclusion of qualifying. As you guys know, this is going to be a absolute battle here tonight, and if you are not prepared, you will find yourself in the wall, which is why we bring you guys the keys of the race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's going to be 130 laps for the main event tonight underneath the lights here at Lanier. But before we get over there, we'll round out the qualifying session here in just a second. The top 5 drivers will advance to the main event automatically on time, and they will lock themselves in. They'll know that they will start in the first 5 positions. However, everybody else below the 6th place spot on back will head on over to the LCQ heat races here tonight live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for 15 laps apiece. There should be 2 of them. Hopefully everything goes as planned. I want to give a huge shout out to Neil Rutt III down there up in the racing control booth. He will be taking the calls and action here on the track tonight for all of the drivers. And ladies and gentlemen, while we have a couple more seconds remaining here, these guys are getting their spiel, I would call it, from the race admin. A perfect time to go ahead and show up some of our tonight's sponsors. Need a brand new iRacing paint scheme, design, WHELEN modified, late model, NASCAR, you name it. Head on over to NR3 Designs, custom graphics and schemes, and check out NR3_designs on Instagram for all your paints, spec maps, and custom numbers. Getting ready to be the springtime. Got the time to get the summer, get the cars out, get them all washed up nice and detailed. Go check out Flawless Detail Company at Flawless Detail Company on Instagram and or Facebook here in the upstate of South Carolina. Wash, detail, wax, and restoration. They do it all. Go check them out. And finally, want to get you up here. We got tons of fans complaining about the parking here tonight at the Lanier Speedway, so we'll make sure we hit up our CK Parking Lot Maintenance friends over at CK Parking Lot Maintenance at 402-610-0691 in Lincoln, Nebraska for all of our line striping, repairs, and crack joint sealing needs. So we got about 20 seconds remaining here in the qualifying session, and we will have ourselves a LCQ heat race here in just a moment. We will have the qualifying results. Everybody looks like they are holding on for a chance here tonight to call themselves a winner inside of the WHELEN Modified Division. The LA Coliseum 2 weeks ago brought us one hell of a show. I mean, it was absolutely a barn burner. A couple contact made between a few guys. Does the tensions overrule here tonight at Lanier. Do we see anybody try to repay anybody? Looks like we'll switch on over here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel to the LCQ races here tonight. Zach Evans in that MND Motorsports Modified keeps it up front after practice. He'll start on the pole here tonight for the main event. But before we get down to the main event, we got a whole heat race underneath our belt getting ready to come our way. This will be the starting grid, the front 6 drivers, the 3 rows. Looks like we'll be at 5 drivers in this field here. Ladies and gentlemen, on the pole, driving the number 27 WHELEN Modified here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That's the number 27 of Adam Peeler. And on the outside of him, driving the number 61 Modified. Ran great 2 weeks ago at the Coliseum, Patrick McPeak. Starting in the second row, third place position, driving the number 48 Hooters Modified. That's Aaron Evans. And on the outside of him, driving the number 18 Weekend Woodsman Modified. That's Nate Hall. And rounding out the number 82 Modified in the final spot here in the first LCQ heat race tonight. That's the number 82 of Cody Clouser. So that'll do it here, folks, for the starting lineups on LCQ Heat Race number 1. We are getting ready to take the green flag here in just a moment. Peter, the base car's locked and loaded, strapped up inside of that race car. If you're loving what you're seeing, make sure you slap that like button, press that follow button, head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. You can find all of the previous I-85 Asphalt Series, WHELEN Modified Division, and Late Model Stock Division races posted to the YouTube page from seasons 1 through 3. However, though, it's all rounded up here to tonight. Race number 2 of the Dash for Cash last chance qualifying race here tonight at the Lanier Speedway. Garrison Racing's equipment in turn 1. They'll be the sponsor on the wall. Adam Peeler will be the race leader. Patrick McPeak will be the second place position. We'll show you that grid one more time. So as these guys roll off up behind the pace car here, they'll head down into turns 1 and 2. And we should be a couple laps underneath the caution flag, which will give us time to indicate to you guys and get you guys locked and loaded and see how he comes. Here they come, folks, heading off the front straightaway, getting ready to come down into turns 1 and 2. The Modifieds are up and moving here tonight in Braselton, Georgia. A cloudy day to go racing, I shall say it that, as I look over here in the background and see all these guys battling. We should have some windshield wipers on these cars. 66 degrees here tonight in Georgia. 18-mile-per-hour winds and an overcast for sure. A 95% humidity. It's going to be really grippy for a little bit. How long do these guys try to be as hard as possible on the tires? It's going to take a lot of action-packed racing here tonight to go to victory lane. Adam Peeler, Patrick McPeak, the front row. Aaron Evans, Nate Hall, the second row, followed by Cody Clouser. In the final spot here in the LCQ heat race, it'll be on the green flag to begin tonight's Dash for Cash race number 2 of 10. Heat race number 1 is green, and we are in the air. You have yourself a virtual race here at Lanier Speedway. Diving down into turns 1 and 2, Adam Peeler and Patrick McPeak battle side by side. Here comes the number 48 of Aaron Evans down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Big time loose on the top side of the racetrack goes Nate Hall. He's able to lock it up. He's able to keep it straight and moving, though. Looks like we'll keep it underneath the green flag condition. McPeak pulls door to door with Aaron Evans, and Adam Peeler sails away with a race lead here down into turns 1 and 2. Heading down into turns 3 and 4. The number 18 of Nate Hall trying to work his way back into the picture, but it's Patrick McPeak takes it down. Adam Peeler for the race lead. Patrick McPeak, Adam Peeler battling it out here for the LCQ heat race win. These guys looking to add some bonus points to their total score. If they can do it here, we'll check the lap times that last time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Patrick McPeak in that second place position. In front of him will be Adam Peeler in that number 27 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, as these guys continue to wrap up the 15-lap LCQ heat race here tonight, we've already got 5 drivers locked into tonight's main event scheduled for 130 laps. We're going to have an action, awesome-packed main event here tonight. Everybody will advance out of this heat race. They just got to make sure they can get there in one piece. That's the Patrick McPeak number 61 machine. Ran great at the LA Coliseum 2 weeks ago. He'll try everything he knows possible to run down the Adam Peeler machine in front of him, riding out the front nose of Patrick McPeak. You hear him inside there, really got to be back on the brake. Almost immediately running around this 0.37 mile racetrack here in Braselton, Georgia. You can even have a fan of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. You can be a fan of Road Atlanta, or you can be a fan of short track racing. Lanier Speedway, one of the most iconic iRacing short tracks on the platform. It was actually one of the most original tracks that they scanned and put here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's iRacing platform. Side by side, 3 in a row, battling for the race lead here, trying to make something shake. Adam Peeler doing everything he knows possible to keep that 61 of Patrick McPeak right behind on the battle off of turn 2. Down into turn 3, Aaron Evans has slowly marched and worked his way back up into the picture here, riding on board the number 48 Hooters Modified of Aaron Evans, doing everything he knows possible to try to work his way up to the front of the pack. Aaron Evans from Crawfordsville, Indiana. Does he have enough? He's batting a little bit of a loose condition right now, but as everybody knows, if you were watching the keys of the race, the pre-race, this will be a day-to-night race when the main event comes around. 4 laps to go. Going to be 3 this time around on the Dash for Cash. Race number 2, LCQ Heat Race. Right behind him is the 4th place driver, Cody Klauser. Nate Hall trying to trail his way back up into the distance here, but these 3 front guys are not going to spare each other an inch. The Nerf bar is placed to the back front row of the number 27 of Adam Peeler by Patrick McPeak. White flag next time around. 2 laps remain here in the LCQ Heat Race live on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Peeler trying to defend his position here, but he's got his left rear quarter pedal taken by the number 61. Side by side coming to the white flag presented by EFLglobal.com. Down in the turns 1 and 2. Nerf bar side by side off the exit of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Heading down into turn 3 and 4. It's going to be a side by side finish. Who's going to take it at the line? Adam Peeler steals it here at the Lanier Speedway. What a finish there for Adam Peeler, driving the number 27, Modified from Landrum, South Carolina. He'll finally steal himself one a heat race here tonight and add some bonus points to his total score. What a finish there in the LCQ Heat Race number 1. What a finish there, guys. Oh, my. Side by side, Nerf bar, the Nerf bar. We'll have to give it a moment there to post the Heat 1 results, though. We'll be back to that in just a moment. Looks like we got a whole nother heat race underneath our belt. And then we got 4 more drivers looking to shake out their chance at the LCQ Heat Race Dash for Cash here tonight at the Lanier Speedway. We'll go ahead and get tonight's driver lineup start off for Heat Race number 2 on the pole. Driving the number 99, that's Dakota Pignataro. Starting on this 2nd place spot on the outside, driving that 00, Mike Doyle. And driving the 01 in the 3rd place position here tonight, that is going to be Grayson Underwood. And rounding out that 919 Blue Modified in the 4th place spot in the LCQ Heat Race here in Heat Race number 2, that is Josh Moore. So Dakota Pignataro will lead them to the green flag here when these guys take off from behind Peter LeVay's car. A awesome action-packed race there in Heat Race number 1. Seen Adam Peeler side by side, Nerf bar, bring home the victory. That'll be his first Dash for Cash Heat Race win on the season. The pace car is up and moving here at the Lanier Speedway, and looks like we are getting ready to see the green flag here momentarily for Heat Race number 2. Couple great contestants there in Heat Race number 1. Some even better ones here in Heat Race number 2. Dakota Pignataro, a 3-time LCQ Dash for Cash winner. He'll be on the pole here. Mike Doyle. These 2 guys, friends, buddies in real life. How do the Boardwick Modifieds elect to race each other here with Josh Moore rounding out that 4th place position? Grayson Underwood ran damn good last year in the late model stock division. We'll have a chance at it here tonight at the LCQ Heat Race. Remember, folks, positions 1 through 5 have already been locked in here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel down in fast time, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Zach Evans on the pole here at the Lanier Speedway in Braselton, Georgia. The pace car should hang that big fat left down on the pit lane this time around as the lights are off on top of it. Pignataro will have to take it off on the green flag to begin tonight's session, and you will have yourself Heat Race number 2 underneath the green flag condition. We're racing here in Braselton, Georgia. Pignataro's going to pull the Nerf bar there with Mike Doyle. We apologize there for the camera mix-hap here as they fly down into turns 3 and 4. The Double Zero of Mike Doyle loses a spot there quick and early on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Pignataro brings it back down into turns 1 and 2. Underwood's going to have to try to undercut this number 99 machine and make something work here on the long run. This 001 has had some speed in it here in the LA Coliseum. We're here at the Braselton, Georgia Lanier Speedway. It's on a totally different beast here tonight. He's looking to the left rear quarter panel of Dakota. Side by side, heading across the line. You have to give it to Dakota Pignataro. He'll lead that last lap around. 12 laps remain here in heat race number 2. An action-packed field, first heat race. Absolutely left our jaws on the floor in a last lap pass. Pignataro looking for the undercut. He'll place the Nerf bar to the back bumper of the 001 of Grayson Underwood. These guys have a race control up in the booth, so they're going to have to be clean with it. Rubbing is racing, but there's a fine line between rubbing and wrecking. And big time loose for Dakota Pignataro. That'll lose a spot there for him. He'll have to battle door to door here with Josh Moore as the 919 on the bottom side slowly merges his way from the back of the field. That'll give Grayson Underwood the race lead here down into turns 1 and 2. He'll try everything he knows possible to hold on to the race position here as the race leader. The Middletown, New Jersey driver Mike Doyle will head out here in the second place spot, followed by Dakota Pignataro from New Bern. Behind him will be the number 919 of Josh Moore. He'll try to work his way back up into the picture here, but it's all Grayson Underwood out of turn 2, heading back down into turn 3. Single file here, only 4 cars in tonight's LCQ heat race. We didn't have the biggest field. We had about 20 plus cars sign up for the regular season. Remember, folks, every single one of these drivers paid a $5 entry fee to be out here in participating with inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series. Signups are currently closed. We see a ton of you guys send us DMs here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel asking, how do I get a part of this? Well, you're going to need $5 for the entry fee, but you're also going to have to wait it out until the next season. Signups are currently closed at the moment. We had a huge turnout when the signups went live. 3 full seasons underneath our belt for the late models, 2 full seasons for the WHELEN Modifieds. 4 laps to go this time around in heat race number 2. Mike Doyle trying everything he knows to slow down and run down the race leader. These guys almost similar in lap times. We'll check them this time around. Mike Doyle, 12.72, 9.72 last time to the leaders, 12.93. Looks like it'll be the same damn thing that last time. Grayson Wood trying everything he knows possible in the 001 to make it move here, but Michael Doyle's causing the wrap up big time. 2 laps to go here in Lanier. Dakota Pignataro started on the pole here tonight. Big time loose, that cost him the front row. Mike Doyle will have one more shot at the back bumper of Grayson Underwood. They'll throw through like 3 and 4. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. Trying to set the outside road for the main event here tonight. Mike Doyle, the chance at the back bumper of Grayson Underwood, but he won't get there. Grayson Underwood able to hold on to it. He'll take it up the track. Checker flag in the air. Grayson Underwood wins the LCQ heat race number 2 here tonight. What a finish there on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and an awesome try from Mike Doyle. Grayson Underwood wins it. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like these guys will head on over to the warm-up session part of the night's event, and they will talk back and forth with the admin, and they will get everything nice and situated. That'll give me a chance to head over to the kitchen, grab another beer, and light another cigarette. You should do the absolute same. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here at the Lanier Speedway. We are absolutely having a time of our life. A brand new scanned, refreshed Lanier National Speedway inside of the iRacing platform has led us here tonight. The lights should come on here in just a moment, and we should be racing underneath the absolute beautiful lights here at Lanier Speedway. Lanier Speedway in Braselton, Georgia, absolutely dominated by track champions year after year. But tonight, the Dash for Cash for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division takes a pit stop, no pun intended, looking to round out race number 2. This will give us a chance to bring up the remaining schedule here for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. Headed at the LA Coliseum 2 weeks ago for 125 laps. It was an absolute banger of a show. We're here tonight at Lanier for 130, where we will head to Florida 2 weeks from now at the new Smyrna Speedway. It'll be absolutely worth it, and I can't wait to get over to Oswego. But Oswego to the main broadcast cam, because it is time to go racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live at Lanier Speedway. We will have a big packed outfield here, so if the race control will give us a moment to get the driver introduced here for you fans, we will have it all ready, nice and leady to go. Here's the starting lineups on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This will be the starting 12 drivers, 6 rows on tonight's main event Dash for Cash race number 2. On the pole, driving the number 6 Modified all the way here tonight for MND Motorsports. That's the number 6 of Zach Evans. On the outside of him will be the number 92 ACR Racing Modified of Lane Woods. In the second row, third place spot, driving the number 22 Fabric Schaffner Machine from High Point, North Carolina. That's Chris Schaffner. And from Denison, Texas, driving the 03 Modified, led over 100 laps 2 weeks ago at the Coliseum, Dylan Thomas. And behind him, driving the number 27 Modified, he was your Dash for Cash LCQ Heat Race winner in Heat Race number 1 from Landrum, South Carolina. That's Adam Peeler. On the inside of him, driving the number 40 Modified, Michael Johnson. Starting in the 7th place position, driving that number 61 Modified, that's Patrick McPeak. On the inside of him, driving the 001 White and Orange Modified, that is going to be Grayson Underwood. Driving the 00 Modified here tonight, rounding out the 9th place position, it's going to be Mike Doyle. Dakota Pignataro will shake out the number 99 Modified with Aaron Evans and the number 48 on the outside from Crawfordsville, Indiana. Josh Moore will round out the number 919 in the 12th place position with Nate Hall scoring out the 13th place spot in the number 18. Cody Klauser will shake out what's going to be the 14th place spot here tonight from Baltic, Connecticut. Lane Woods and these guys will pile behind Peter the Pace car. Looks like the lights are off on top of him, and looks like Cody Klauser had a bit of an engine trouble right there, or some kind of shit. Not entirely sure what was going on there, but it looks like he was able to get the car refired and up and moving. Green flag will fly this time around live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like we'll take another lap. If you fans aren't loud enough, you got to go ahead and slap that like button. Press that follow button, or Peter the Base car is not coming off the racetrack. But the Freddie the Flagman shows us the one to go racing this time around. Zach Evans on the pole. Lane Woods to his outside, followed by Schaffner and Thomas in the second row. You are getting ready to watch some of the most badass racing on the iRacing platform. The I-85 Asphalt Series Dash for Cash race number 2 begins here in Braselton, Georgia. Green flag is in the air. Green flag is up in the air here at the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division, working off the exit of turn 2. There's not a guy out here tonight going to spare an inch to his partner to the left and or to the right of him. Lane Woods grabs the race lead here early, quick and fast. Mike Doyle trying to make his position here. He's got one spot already over Dakota Pignataro. The number 27 of Adam Peeler has gone backwards. These guys trying to make everything they know possible work here tonight. Heading off the exit of turn 3 and 4. Looks like Lane Woods and Zach Evans will continue to battle it out here. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, that's Grayson Underwood. He'll run right over our camera and turn 1 and 2, excuse me. Lap number 5 already being completed here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel of the scheduled 130 lap event, excuse me, as everybody tries to work out here. Caution flag on the racetrack. We got one turned around. It looks like it's going to be Josh Moore. Josh Moore's our victim there. Looks like he's got a flat left front tire. He will back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look and see exactly what happened to the number 919 of Josh Moore. Give us just a second here. Let it refresh on our screen to yours, and we should be A-okay. Give us just a second. Bam, there we go. Josh Moore is going to be our victim here. He'll be the one that caused the caution flag. We'll back that ass up, take a look, see what happened. Josh Moore trailing in the distance of that number 82. Just gets big time loose off the corner, and there's another one stepped out there as well. Looks like Cody Klauser will back that ass up one more time and take a look and see exactly what happens. See if we can't see it from our infield track cam. The 919 looks like he got big time loose. That's Josh Moore. Josh Moore had a decent run 2 weeks ago at the LA Coliseum. Just like he got loose there. Pow! Hard shot to the inside wall. Cody Klauser was not the one that went around behind him. That is my apologies. That was the number 18 of Nate Hall. He will go around as well. So we'll throw it back here on the main broadcast cam where these guys are down on the garage area working on these modified, trying to get them back patched up and ready to go racing. Lane Woods will have the race lead with Zach Evans right behind him in the second place position, following Michael Johnson in the third place spot. Grayson Underwood will snag the fourth place position with Dylan Thomas. Going to shake out the fifth place spot. Looks like we will double file them up here, and we will get ready to see the green flag restart here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Already, these guys have packed out, looks like, what, that 7-8 laps, and these guys, if you're not careful, you will get left in the dust here at Lanier Speedway, especially when you got as many modifieds around here tonight. Green flag is in the air. They jump right through your living room screen. Lane Woods has the jump here. He is in control of the restart when the pace car pulls off on the racetrack, but he must wait until that pace car is all the way off of the racing surface before he fires off here. Door to door, battling door to door is, what's that, the 27 and the 22 of Chris Schaffner and Adam Peeler. These two guys, friends never, but enemies maybe, down on the bottom side of the racetrack through turns 3 and 4. Everybody's not going to spare each other an inch here. Look at these guys. You can throw a blanket over these guys battling back here for the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th place spot. That's Mike Doyle, Dakota Pignataro, Patrick Peak, and Adam Peeler. And here comes the number 48, Dakota Pignataro, loose up the racetrack, but he's able to hold on to it. Unfortunate for Aaron Evans. He'll get knocked down pit road by Dakota Pignataro. Hopefully that didn't give him a black flag, or the race admin can look at that. Looks like the lights are slowly starting to emerge their way on here tonight in Braselton, Georgia at the Lanier Speedway. Lane Woods, Michael Johnson, the top two drivers battling it out for position. Right behind them will be, looks like Grayson Underwood and Zach Evans, followed by Mike Doyle, Chris Schaffner, battling door to door with Adam Peeler. This battle been going on for the last 3 or 4 laps or so. The number 61 of Patrick McPeak looking to make his nose enter the chat. No Kais in it. And got something to say about it. You're looking out the spotter cam here at Lanier Speedway. Everybody up here screaming and yelling to their drivers, inside, outside. Watch, watch, watch. And these guys don't give a damn. Look at Patrick McPeak. He's got the inside left rear quarter panel of Chris Schaffner trying to make the pass down into turn 3 and 4, but he's not able to get back to the gas quite like he wants to. Chris Schaffner holding his line absolutely beautiful there on the outside of the racetrack. 17 laps completed already. Ladies and gentlemen, if these guys will give us some green flag laps, as the lights come on, I think we have no reason why we shouldn't throw it down on the racetrack for tonight's first I-85 Asphalt Series Fast and Loud. Here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we are underneath the Fast and Loud, and these guys we're not giving each other an inch there. Pass was made by Michael Johnson in this number 40 modified for the race lead over Lane Woods. We see a couple of you guys asking in the chat about some of the guys down on pit lane and wanting to know what's going on with them. We'll bring up the pit lane ticker down on the bottom if it'll pull up for us. We're having a little bit of issues here tonight with our overlays. However, though, looks like Josh Moore has declined comment here tonight, and maybe we can see if we can grab him post-race or something and get a comment for him, but it looks like Josh Moore's night is retired here. He will climb out of the WHELEN Modified and head to the infield care center to be evaluated after hitting the outside safer barrier. However, though, green flag racing being fully picked up here tonight at the Linear Speedway, and we have 100 laps to go this time around. It's Johnson, Woods, Thomas, Underwood, Doyle, the top 5 drivers, and you're looking at Grayson Underwood, 001, Overcooked turn 1 and 2 there, trying to run down Dylan Thomas. However, though, this is where all the action and the battles are at. Adam Peeler, Zach Evans, and Patrick McPeak. These 3 drivers 2 weeks ago were the ones that were up there battling it out, leading laps at the LA Coliseum. At the LA Coliseum, it was a whole lot of beating and banging the Nerf bars. I'm surprised that these guys just didn't win it, go ahead and trash those modifieds and bring brand new chassis, brand new everything here tonight to the Linear Speedway. If you have not noticed yet, so far up to this point, we have ditched our co-host that was up here in the booth with us. It looks like we were just going to be a single-man car cast crew on the broadcast, and that is A-OK. Right now, though, some of the fastest laps being picked up on the racetrack belong to this 00 of Mike Doyle. He is absolutely flying here from Middletown, New Jersey, down here in Braselton, Georgia. This 00 might be hooked up here for the long run, but I'm no fool, folks. I've seen this time after time after time again. Zach Evans in this number 6 modified in the late model division last year drove all the way up from the back more times than you could imagine, saving Hoosier rubber, trying to look for a run to the front, and absolutely picking up these green flag laps will fall to the advantage of the number 6. Adam Peeler won the LCQ heat race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He comes all the way from Landrum, South Carolina here to Georgia, so not much of a trip, if any, for Adam Peeler. He'll add those bonus points to his total score here tonight. He'll have a chance to work his way up the standings here as the Dash for Cash continues to pile on here 2 weeks from now when we go racing at the new Smyrna Speedway. However, though, it's been Michael Johnson in this number 40 machine. Got the race lead from Lane Woods after making the contact to the back bumper underneath our fast and loud section. And now he's got the race lead by about 6 or 7 modified car lengths over Lane Woods. Lane Woods is running second over Dylan Thomas and Grayson Underwood, who battle it out for the 3rd and 4th place spot. Mike Doyle trails back here in the 5th place spot, followed by Zach Evans. So these guys really starting to move together, catch each other once more. Lap traffic really starting to come into effect. Nate Hall will lose a lap here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And this number 18 modified, he just needs to try to hold on to the position that he's in right now. He's currently scored as the lucky dog spot. He needs to stay away from that number 48 of Aaron Evans, who's sterling right here in this Hooters white and orange modified. There's about 4 cars in between these 2 guys battling for the lucky dog, but if he's not careful and something happens and that caution flag comes out, it could cost him a chance at the lead lap. Mike Doyle high up the racetrack there through turns 3 and 4. Not sure entirely what happened inside of this 00 modified. He right on board with Michael Doyle. Mike Doyle from Middletown, New Jersey, trying to make a name for himself here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. Mike Doyle known to get physical if he really needs to. He raises hell and praises Dale on a weekly basis. However, though, does he have what it takes here tonight to go to victory lane? The 00 complaining a little bit of a left front chatter issue right now. Maybe the rotors are starting to get a little bit warm inside of the 00, and now he's starting to battle with some brake issues. Zach Evans in this number 6 modified has slowly ran down this back bumper, the 03 of Dylan Thomas. I'd imagine here in the next 3 or 4 laps or so, he'll be all over the back bumper. Patrick McPeak having an awesome run here tonight so far, but he's going backwards. He's up 1 spot from where he started in this number 61 modified. Look at him work on the inside of the number 27 of Adam Peeler. Patrick McPeak ran amazingly well at the LA Coliseum 2 weeks ago. He's trying his heart out here tonight to go to victory lane. We got fans in the chat wrapping it up for Patrick McPeak, the number 61, doing everything he knows possible to try to get himself to the front of the pack. Currently scored in the 7th place position. Patrick McPeak got the charge here at Lanier. What a show here tonight for the Dash for Cash I-85 Wheeling Modified Division. If you don't forget, tomorrow night the late model stocks are in full blast, and it is going to be a action-packed, sold-out event. You don't want to miss it. And I hate to report it right now, but the fastest modified on the racetrack is the number 48 lap traffic car of Aaron Evans. Aaron Evans got Hooters on board to put the Nerf bar back there to Patrick McPeak. A lap down, racing the lead lap cars. Who don't give a damn? You're racing for cash money and prizes at the end of the year. Aaron Evans knows that every point's going to be big and possible here tonight if he can grab it. But Lane Woods slowly losing touch to the back bumper of the number 40 of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's been here, done that before. He won the LCQ heat race 2 weeks ago at the LA Coliseum with an absolute badass last lap pass to take it to the checker flag. I recommend you go check that one out on the YouTube page. Lane Woods trails right behind him. That's the battle for the race lead. We're working lap number 54, coming to lap number 55. This time around, Michael Johnson. We'll see. Looks like going to be lap traffic out the front nose of this number 40 modified. You hear him big time off the gas. And the lap traffic in front of him looks like that's the number 22 of Chris Schaffner. That is going to in jeopardy of losing a lap. Chris Schaffner, though, we've been on board with this number 22 before. Head over to the YouTube page, Fabric Schaffner, for the onboard cam of this number. Oh, caution flag is in the air. Caution flag is in the air, and it looks like it's for Grayson Underwood inside of this number 01 machine. We'll have to back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look and see exactly what happened to Grayson Underwood. He is off of the racetrack. Take a look. Grayson Underwood in the 13th place spot right there. Patrick McPeak looks like he got him in the left rear, ships him up the racetrack. Ass in first into the outside safer barrier for Grayson Underwood. He brings it back down into the pits. We'll back it up one more time for that instant replay cam. See if we can't get a better angle of exactly what we were looking for. Patrick McPeak and the 01 of Grayson Underwood battling it out here. Patrick McPeak and that orange modified on the inside. Nerf bar, yeah, just a tad bit. Trying to get back to the left of the 001 of Grayson Underwood, but sends him around none other more than just that. Grayson Underwood will bring it down here on the pit lane. You see his guy down there chatting it up with the crew chief on what needs to be fixed up here inside of this modified. Bring it back here onto the main broadcast cam. Grayson Underwood, it looks like he will climb out of that modified here in just a second. If not, he will return back onto the racetrack. See if we can't get him to stay post-race and try to see if we can't get a word from him. However, though, just looking around the field, trying to make sure everybody is up in the correct order that they need to be in. Well, looks like we'll get the one to go racing this time around. Michael Johnson absolutely took the lead from right there, that last restart from Lane Woods and sailed away with it. How does he elect to do that again? The pace car hangs that left down on the pit lane. Green flag in the air. We're back racing here at the Razzleton, Georgia after a quick caution flag over in turn 3. Whoa! Stack up on the back straightaway. Big time caution flag. Everybody spinning out back here. Big time loose, and Dakota Pignataro almost up and over, and the caution flag is out. Holy shit, folks. Big time wreck there on the back straightaway. We will back that ass up here for the instant replay and take a look and see what happened. Live here for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division on the restart. Where did all of this even begin? Up here with Lane Woods in the 2nd place spot, tagged by Dylan Thomas off the corner. Everybody gets lifted up off the ground. Big time contact down the back straightaway. Guys keep piling in. Pignataro almost up and over on his lid. We'll back it up one more time. We'll watch it from the camera 1 cam. See what happened. I would imagine the best cam to probably ride out of here is going to be Dakota Pignataro. So we'll back it up one more time, see if we can't ride out the roll bar of the 99. This should tell us what we were looking for. Just a big stack up, trying to merge your way through the field and up. Oh, and almost over on his lid right there, Dakota Pignataro. A huge mess on the back straightaway. Could have ended way worse than what it almost did right there. Looks like there's a little bit of oil on the track, so the track workers will come out on the racetrack and patch all that up there. So it looks like we are behind the pace car, single file, and the number 48 of Aaron Evans stayed patient right there. He'll be the wave around. He'll be the lucky dog. Bark, bark, bark. For the number 48 of Aaron Evans. He'll be back on the lead lap this time around. We'll double follow them up. The pace car will hang that left down on the pit lane. So Aaron Evans needs to get it booting and scooting to the back half of the field. Michael Johnson slipped down on the gas. We're back racing here in Braselton, Georgia after a massive pileup over there off the turn 2 down the back straightaway. Looks like they're able to work it off the corner this time around, and nobody is going to spin out. Down into turns 3 and 4 belongs to Michael Johnson. He has the race lead again. Down into turns 1 and 2. Patrick McPeak follows in the second place spot. Schaffner in the third place spot, followed by Zach Evans in the fourth place position. Dakota Pignataro wants to make something shake here tonight at the Lanier Speedway. Michael Johnson in the first place spot, doing everything he knows possible to try to bring home the victory here tonight after winning the LCQ heat race 2 weeks ago at the LA Coliseum. 45, going to be 46 laps led this time around for Michael Johnson. But right behind him is Patrick McPeak. He wants an opportunity at the back bumper of the 40 of Michael Johnson. Patrick McPeak's had some of the better lap times on the track here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He was fast in practice, but how do some of these guys back here manage their runs? Guys like Adam Peeler and this number 27 from Landrum, South Carolina. He won the LCQ heat race here tonight in heat race number 1, so we know he has a bad, fast modified. The 27's got some speed in it. He hung out in the back half of the field for the early part of the first 40 or 30 laps. Has he saved enough Hoosier rubber to work his way back up to the front of the field like he plans on doing? One person that it's worked out great for is this number 6 machine of Zach Evans. Zach Evans got the Ryan Blaney mustache moving on the bottom side of your screen, and I love it. Ryan Blaney, the absolute GOAT in NASCAR. Zach Evans sits back in the first half of the field for the beginning half of the ninth main event, and he is trying to save a little bit of rubber and work his way to the front half of the field. Race number 2 of 10 for the Dash for Cash of the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division, live here tonight in Braselton, Georgia at the Lanier Speedway. The battle for the race lead continues on here. This could be anything. These points here tonight could be the difference between a paycheck in the first place spot or the paycheck for the second place spot when we round up when we round up the Dash for Cash at the end of the year. We'll check the lap times this next time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Patrick McPeak wants a 13.21 to the leaders. We're refreshing, excuse me. Patrick McPeak about a 10-second faster that last time around than Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson probably doing a little bit of mirror driving here in that WHELEN Modified, trying to keep the number 61 behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys continue to battle it out here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here from the WHELEN Modified Division Dash for Cash race number 2. We're 78, going to be 80 laps complete here in a couple of laps. I think it's right we take you down on the racetrack one more time for the final Fast and Loud here tonight at Lanier. caution flag in the air here during the Fast and Loud back on the main broadcast cam. What has happened and taken place here? It's Cody Klauser. He's down on pit lane and he's missing a right front tire. What the hell? Ain't that what they say? Cody Klauser in big trouble here at the Braselton, Georgia Lanier National Speedway. Trouble down here for the number 82 of Cody Klauser. An absolute killer here in the closing laps. We'll take a look and see what happened to the number 82 of Cody Klauser as he takes it down here to turns. Looks like going to be 1 and 2. Looks like he pops off the bottom side of the racetrack right there. Gets a little bit loose, battling with Nate Hall. Nate Hall, the racetrack, and oh my fucking gosh! Red flag out here at Lanier. On his lid is Cody Klauser. Holy cow, folks. Look at this. Cody Klauser and the number 82 up and over on his lid. Nate Hall. Pow! And a sparkle of shower of sparks, I shall say. A huge shot for Cody Klauser. We'll ride on board, with the number 82 of Cody Klauser. This is going to be a wild one. Cody Klauser on his lid here in Lanier in Braselton, Georgia. Down in the garage. You have to climb out of that race car. Hopefully, he will be A-OK. Michael Johnson will get ready to bring him back to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air here from Braselton, Georgia's Lanier Speedway. We got about 40 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And we're trying to figure out, we got a big time wreck back there on the back straightaway. Dylan Thomas backwards. Mike Doyle able to escape through it. We'll back that ass up and take a look and see what happened. Almost barely got back in time for the start of that replay. For that restart. We'll take a look and see what happened here. Dylan Thomas. Whoa, big time check up there from Adam Peeler. Gets absolutely pile driven from Dakota Pignataro. Adam Peeler and these guys get locked up here. Looks like the 48 stuck on top of the number 27. We'll back that ass up one more time. This started right here with Adam Peeler. Looks like Dakota Pignataro just gets a shot to the 27 of Adam Peeler. Ships him up the racetrack. Adam Peeler tries to lock it down, but the 48 gets clipped onto that left rear. And both of these guys park it down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Dylan Thomas is spun around there as well in turns 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5 car accident here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Quick and early on that restart. Cautions do breed cautions. We do understand that, but in the closing laps of the race, these guys know that the points are going to mean everything. But if they keep wrecking each other, they might have a chance of falling back further and further and further and further in the standings, which means that you're going to lose points. We also want to give an honorable mention here tonight of the couple of guys that weren't able to make the race inside of the field due to some storms that flew through the area of their hometowns, I shall say. So a couple of these guys will be taking some start and park. Some of your fan favorites. Dylan Thomas will be the lucky dog this time around. Bark, bark, bark. He'll be back on the lead lap. The pace car should hang that left down on the pit lane this time around. Michael Johnson should hit the gas. And we are back racing here at the Lanier National Speedway, trying to close up the last 30 laps here in the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division Dash for Cash. Nobody going to spare each other an inch here tonight. Chris Schaffner will work his way back up here. This number 22 modified slowly. Just trying to keep it out of trouble. Was in jeopardy of going a lap down earlier. Trying to save a little bit of Hoosier rubber. Patsy saved enough here, though, to try to run down Michael Johnson in the closing laps. We see Michael Johnson trouble off of turn 3 and 4 back there. That's Lane Woods is backwards here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Lane Woods goes around here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looked like Nate Hall was almost involved in that one as well. We'll back that ass up here for that instant replay. 3 quick caution flags in a span of about 10 laps. Definitely can't say that these guys aren't trying their hardest. Schaffner looks like he gives a little bit of a shot to the number 92 of Lane Woods. Ships him up the racetrack, and Nate Hall has nowhere to go and runs right into the front Nerf bar of Lane Woods. We'll back it up one more time. This should give us the angle that we were looking for. Don't look like maybe Chris Schaffner meant to smoke it in there like that too hard. Definitely got into the back of the number 92 of Lane Woods, shipped him up the racetrack. Nowhere for Nate Hall to go. Nate Hall makes contact with the 92 of Lane Woods. So back here on the main broadcast cam, looks like Lane Woods, Chris Schaffner exchanging some words there. Lane Woods coming around, revving his engine at the number 22 of Chris Schaffner. He don't want to mess with the Chris Schaffner. Chris Schaffner, the real deal. Been full-time on the I-85 Asphalt Series for about 3 seasons. Chris Schaffner will repay that favor. He better watch it. Riding on board the number 22 of Chris Schaffner. See how he throws his hands up here. Lane Woods in front of him. This should be an interesting restart when we get the green flag here. A couple tippers flaring here in the closing laps at the Lanier Speedway, live for the Dash for Cash race number 2. We will double them up this time around. We will head them back to the Geico restart zone. Michael Johnson, the race leader. Patrick McPeak to the outside. Zach Evans in the 3rd place position, followed by Adam Peeler in the 4th place spot. Aaron Evans snagging that 5th place position. Get ready to take the green flag back here in Braselton, Georgia at the Lanier National Speedway. Green flag back in the air here. 30 laps to go until we find out who is going to be race 2 winner here for the Dash for the Cash Series. Right now, though, it's Michael Johnson heading down the back straightaway. Battles back and forth between everybody here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You're looking at Adam Peeler and Dakota Pignataro be separated there. Aaron Evans trying to make that pass over the number 99. A great day here tonight for Aaron Evans and that number 48 white and orange Hooters modified. Scheduled a lap down naturally through this racing here on that long green flag run we had here tonight. Aaron Evans trying to make something safe. Patrick McPeak goes around on the front straightaway from the 2nd place spot. Holy shit! Lane Woods goes flying across the front straightaway. Holy shit. We'll have to back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look and see what happens. Zach Evans, the original one, backwards here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, door to door with Patrick McPeak. We'll take a look. Clean racing right here. This was off of turn 2. This was coming down into turn 3. The number 61 of Patrick McPeak to the right side on the outside of the screen. The 6 of Zach Evans on the inside. Contacts made. You see the flames roll out the right side tailpipes of the number 6. That's when Patrick McPeak got turned around here on the front straightaway. Sent both of these drivers were on. Lane Woods gets shipped around here on the front straightaway doing cheerleader-type cartwheels. Holy cow, Lane Woods gonna need a brand new modified after tonight. We'll back it up one more time, see if we can't ride around with Lane Woods and see what he experienced out the back half of this modified. And Chris Schaffner's there to greet him. I must ask you a question. Why did you have to rev your engine at me? Karma is a you-know-what. Lane Woods involved in the accident that he had absolutely nothing to do with. As a broadcaster, we do want to make that. It's all jokes here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. No wrongdoing from any driver, it looks like there. It's just some hard action-packed racing between Zach Evans and that number 6 machine and the guys that he was racing in Lane Woods. So these guys will re-rack them here. Looks like we are slowly, ever so surely, going to get that checkered flag here in just a moment. Michael Johnson, Adam Peeler, Pignataro, McPeak, Thomas, Woods will be the top 6 drivers. The front 3 rows coming to the green flag here at the Lanier Speedway. Hopefully, we can see the checkered flag on the other end of this one. Green flag back in the air as Michael Johnson jumps from the restart zone. Whenever he gets it, he can like it when the pace car pulls on the pit lane. That is full authority for the race leader to smash the gas down and go. We started with 16 drivers here tonight. Currently, 12 of them run out on the field as we speak. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, no 11 right out here on the field as we currently run. Dylan Thomas trying to make his way around Dakota Pignataro with this number 99 machine. He'll battle Nerf bar, the Nerf bar off turn 4. Heading across the front straightaway, Pignataro jumps hard down on the brake. Chris Schaffner rolls to the back bumper, the number 99. He'll try to fill the gap underneath the 03, of Dylan Thomas. This battle's not going to go nowhere. Dylan Thomas is going to try to make something shake here on this outside spot. These guys not sparing each other an inch here with 18 laps to go at the Braselton, Georgia's Lanier Speedway. And I don't know why I keep adding Braselton, Georgia. It's just a hell of a name, a hell of a racetrack. The lights are fully illuminated here tonight. It's calmed down. Contact made there. Dakota Pignataro goes around on the front straightaway. Only 2 letters to describe Dakota Pignataro right now. K.O. Big time shot there for the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro as the caution flag flies. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay. Seeing Dylan Thomas and Dakota Pignataro absolutely banging Nerf bars, going at it. Their contacts made and a hard shot to the inside wall for Dakota Pignataro. Back up into traffic in front of the number 92 of Lane Woods. And that'll be 3 consecutive wrecks in a row for Lane Woods. He's been involved in none of his own doing as we will back that ass up and ride on board with what's going to be Dakota Pignataro. This is going to be a nasty shot, folks. Dakota Pignataro goes round and around and around like a record player here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Caution flag is out here. Back on the main broadcast cam where Dakota Pignataro is parked down there. He's missing the left front tire on top of that board wig number 99. Wheeling modified here for the Dash for the Cash series as the race admin is talking it over right now with the drivers, telling them they need to get it together for quick caution flags in a matter of no time. Zach Evans, Aaron Evans in the 6th and 7th place position. Have no idea if there's any relation between these 2 drivers. Evans is a very, very, very common last name, and I do not want to be the person to mix that up. However, though, Aaron Evans has had one hell of a race here tonight. I mean, coming from a lap down to be up here to even have a chance at the battle for the win in the 7th place position. On the inside of him will be Zach Evans up front in the number 6 machine. Chris Schaffner will round out the top 5 position with Dylan Thomas, Patrick McPeak, Adam Peeler, and Michael Johnson rounding out the front row. Green flag will fly here in just a second on the green on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and we will be back racing here at the Lanier Speedway with 12 laps to go. Wow, big time wreck in the turns 1 and 2. Half the damn field's up in the turn. Adam Peeler is around in the number 27, and caution flag is back out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Not entirely sure what the hell it was entirely for. Looks like 3 wide already on the front straightaway. Dylan Thomas hooks the left rear quarter panel of Patrick McPeak, ships him around, but Patrick McPeak's able to hold on to it. What a save there from Patrick McPeak inside of that number 61. Patrick McPeak will looks like he'll get that right rear quarter panel snagged from him, and he goes around, but he locks down the brake. What a save from Patrick McPeak, as well as Adam Peeler. Even though he's backwards, he almost had it saved. Back on the main broadcast cam, there's tons of guys being ate up there with the cautions here. It looks like Mike Doyle will be the fortunate one to get the lucky dog. Bark, bark, bark for the 00 of Mike Doyle. This will totally reset things here tonight live at the Lanier Speedway. We'll break it down to you. Adam Peeler involved in the accident there. He was able to beat the pace car and the race leader of Michael Johnson. So it looks like Adam Peeler will stay on the lead lap. He'll wave around this time around, and that'll leave Michael Johnson. And Chris Schaffner, the guy that was battling to try to stay on the lead lap earlier tonight, has found himself up front on the front row with single-digit laps left with a chance to win it. Patrick McPeak saved the modified there for a chance at it here. Green flag, back in the air here. Dash tap, dash for the cash. Race number 2 and the Lanier Speedway. Everybody knowing that the pay window opens up here in 6 more laps. They got to keep it clean, though. If you don't have a modified to race at the end, you won't get a chance to be paid. At the end, here it comes. 5 laps to go the next time around for Michael Johnson. Patrick McPeak shifts his way up here to the 2nd place spot, back to where he was at. Schaffner looking for an awesome points day here tonight. You can't get greedy this late into tonight's event. Grab every spot possible, but keep on moving. Patrick McPeak, though, in the 2nd place spot with 5 laps to go. He has the 6th spot advantage gained on tonight. Patrick McPeak scored as the Hard Charger award here tonight if he can hold on to this spot. If he loses 1 spot, however, that could be the difference between him bringing home those bonus points and not. 3 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel at the Lanier Speedway. It's Johnson, McPeak, Schaffner, Evans, and Thomas, the top 5 drivers. 2 laps remain. Johnson, McPeak will have a chance at it here. Patrick McPeak's going to have to be absolutely perfect off the exit of turn 2. Down the back straightaway, down into turn 3 and 4. White flag will be in the air this time around, presented by AFLglobal.com. Patrick McPeak will have one more shot at that back bumper of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson trying to keep it squared away and keep it easy. Nice and smooth through turns 3 and 4. Checker flag is in the air. Michael Johnson wins it here tonight in Georgia. What a finish, what a race from Michael Johnson. Absolutely dominated there, took the race lead 107 laps ago and never looked back. Had a fight through all of those traffic and restarts there. Michael Johnson pulls it off here tonight in Georgia. As the fireworks begin to explode back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, he'll burn it down for you fans. Michael Johnson will put it up to the 106.1 WNGC sign on the front straightaway here and burn it down for the fans that stayed around. Michael Johnson picks up his first I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division win here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll pull it right here into victory lane on the front straightaway at the Lanier Speedway. We will be back in just a moment. We'll get all of the drivers who want their driver interviews ranked up in a group. You don't want to miss this. We'll grab our pit reporter and we'll have all of the words, some action-packed racing and tippers flaring there in the closing laps at Lanier. We're back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live from the Lanier Speedway for race number 2 of the I-85 Asphalt Series Dash for Cash for the Wheeling Modified Division. It was an absolute action-packed race here tonight. It showed us tons of action-packed passes, laps, wrecks, guys on their lids, all kinds of crazy shenanigans like that. But it's seen Michael Johnson go to victory lane here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And looks like we will pull down here into pit road with our pit reporter live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Give me just a second to get everything up and going, and we will have you guys in here. If I have my pit reporter Neil Rutt with me. Neil, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Action-packed race we had here on another short track. We had a good first half. You know, the end there was a little bit sloppy, but, you know, it was a great battles all throughout the field.
A great battle here tonight. Some chaos there at the end, but you'll have that here with the modified division. And I say we go ahead and try to get some of these guys up in here. We'll bring in our first interview of tonight. I'll kick it off for us, Neil. We'll bring in now the number 40 winner here tonight at the Lanier Speedway in race number 2 of the Dash for Cash for the Wheeling Modified Division, Michael Johnson. Michael, as you join us in here, welcome and congratulations on the win here tonight at the Lanier Speedway. Absolutely dominated. 106 laps led here tonight, and you'll pick up the win. Kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we had a badass car. We had a very fast car. A lot of practicing over the off season. Had a very good opening race at the LA Coliseum, and it carried over to Lanier, and we just had a great setup. And I was cruising the first 100 laps, and then I kind of just let it rip and started hitting my fastest laps with 120 laps on my tires.
Yeah, Mike, you know, you finally got the modified win done here in a great looking PSR, you know, chassis. You're one of the only PSRs we got out here, you know, a little shout out to them. Um, how did your car feel going around this, you know, short, narrow track, similar to LA Coliseum, but a little bit more of a length and a little bit more banking?
Yeah, we had during practice we had a bunch of going in and out of the pits, messing with the brake bias. I was free and loose at the start, but we finally got the right brake bias, and I was coasting into the corners, and I didn't feel free or tight at all in the corners, and I knew we had the correct setup.
Well, I just want to go ahead and say congratulations on your first WHELEN modified win here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. We've seen you pick up a win in the late model stock division in Season 2, so to call yourself a WHELEN modified winner as well should mean an absolute lot. You had an awesome race here tonight. You should have a great points day, and congratulations on the win. And good job. We'll see you 2 weeks from now, I believe, when we head to the New Smyrna Speedway. So good luck 2 weeks from now.
I appreciate it, fellas.
Yes,
Any
sir.
sponsors you would like to give before we let them go? You got to get the sponsors in there. Those are the bill payers.
Oh, of course. Big shout out to PSR, Pace-O-Matic, and just shout out to my dad. He's the engine builder for this car. We switched sponsorships from last season. Didn't have a great. We had a fallout, so switched sponsorships, and now my dad's an in-house engine builder for me, and it's been working out pretty well.
He brought you a bad, fast, modified here tonight, that's for sure. 106 laps led for you, Michael Johnson. Congratulations. We'll scoot on over here and try to bring in our second interview here tonight. Second place runner-up, driver of the number 61 of Patrick McPeak. As we wait on Patrick McPeak to join in here, Patrick McPeak in the number 61 rounds out the second place spot here tonight. Patrick, kind of walk us through your race here. We had some fans in the chat cheering your name all night long, hoping and praying that you would get yourself up there, and slowly but surely you did just that. Was cutting some faster lap times than the race leader, but the caution flags looked like they was just too much for the number 61 on the heat cycle with the tires. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight.
Well, I was sitting there thinking the whole race I was going to be making some more enemies because some of them restarts was kind of my fault, and I felt bad for the 48 car. I don't know if he came down on me or I went up on him, but he got a little loose and he went straight into the pit road. So, but just another hectic night. But I'm fine taking another top 5, especially we're making a podium position. So I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, you looked strong at LA last week, you know, one of our newcomers into this series. You showed great pace, you know, like I said a couple times, you know, you got into, you know, some contacts, but it's hard racing on the short tracks. But you know, you kept your head on you, and you climbed your way back to P2, so you can't hang your head too much there.
I'm stoked about this. I've had a long week last week, having to deal with a lot of personal stuff going on. So a podium finish right now is actually pretty good for me right now. So this win right here is actually it's made for somebody that was very, very close to me that actually ended up passing away this past Monday, named Ralph Bo Morris. He passed away with a lot of breathing issues, and he finally got to take his last good breath, and this podium finish was for him.
And that is, we are sad to hear that here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Patrick, we will keep you in our thoughts and prayer, as well as your friends and family. Is there any sponsors that you would like to thank on top of this number 61 modified here tonight as you take home another P5, or another top 5?
Well, I'm going to thank Grizzly Steel Structures, Nelson Roofing, Nelson Designs, Megawatt Electric, SP Tools, RYR Racing Engines, and Team 9 Motorsports.
Yes, sir. Neil, you got anything else you want to ask Mr. Patrick McPeak before we let him slide on out of here?
I'll say the same thing. I'm sorry for your loss, and condolences to the family, and hopefully we can get that thing parked in Victory Lane in 2 weeks at New Smyrna.
That's what we're going for. See y'all.
Yes, sir. That's Patrick McPeak, driver of the number 61 modified, runner-up here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll scoot down here to the third place finisher, driver of the number 22 Fabric Schaffner YouTube modified, as Fabric Schaffner of Chris Schaffner, I shall call it. I keep calling him the Fabric Schaffner. That's his nickname. Chris, kind of walk us through your race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You bring home the P3 spot of your number 22 modified. Had the mustache on the front, kind of got a little giggle out of that. My question to you, I don't know, I'm sure how anybody else would act, but my question, seen a little bit of beating banging there between you and Lane Woods, couple engines being revved back and forth between one another underneath the caution flag. Just kind of walk us through how your night went, kind of the emotions on the racetrack, and kind of what you've seen out the front windshield.
Well, first off, I want to say, woo, podium, baby. You see that? That didn't happen last season. Rubbing third now. We're going to keep doing that this whole season. This race was such a back and forth. I think I hit every position on the track. And the practice was crazy because the track was so hot. I was sliding all over the place, was not feeling good about it. And I'm so happy that it cooled down throughout the night. It made me just so much tighter, and I was able to hit my spots. Towards the end there, though, man, all those cautions, I feel like I was caught up in almost every one of them. But I got super lucky because the Poncho Custom and the YouTube Fabric Schaffner Modified stayed together.
Yeah, it looked like you had a couple run-ins there with some people. At the end of the day, you had a pretty good race there with P3. You're one of our long runners here, so it was great seeing you get a good performance. Another one just battled your time, and clawed your way up there. You were battling up front there for a while, then you got into a wreck, fell back. But for the most part, you climbed up there, and that's what we like to see, especially here at Lanier, where it's pretty tight. It's kind of hard to really make track positions without trying to move a guy. But I don't think I ever saw anyone get moved off of that 22 bumper, so that's great racecraft out of you.
There was one guy that towards the end there that I accidentally pushed, like went a little bit too hot there into the turn and kind of nudged him out of the way, which felt bad, but hey, that's racing.
Well, my question here is one more question. I see that Poncho Customs sponsorship on the tail end of this modified here. Poncho McDowell, big friend and follower here of the Booty Scoot Racing channel. What kind of support has he got going on this number 22?
Oh, brother, he's just making all sorts of like 3D prints going on this thing and making trophies for me just so I can get my participation trophy, But he's not doing that tonight. I'm getting third place.
Yeah, and finally, Chris, before you head out of here, just kind of walk everybody through the sponsors on top of this number 22 machine and kind of explain that YouTube channel to them.
Yeah, so you can go to that Fabric Schaffner YouTube channel and you can see the in-car view and kind of behind the scenes of what happens at the Dash for Cash racing here. And then, like I said, you got Poncho's Customs going on. And just trying to advertise as much as I can for the Booty Scoot Racing Dash for Cash. Come on and watch it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. We'll scoot on down here to the fourth place driver. Let Chris Schaffner slide on out of here. We appreciate you, number 22. To the number 6 of Zach Evans driving this Me Fine modified here tonight. The number 6 will bring home the fourth place position. Zach, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. We see the mustache on the driver car screen. Got a kick out of her. Huge Ryan Blaney fan here, so I think it's kind of funny. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight. We've seen you step back in that back half of the field like you usually do typically here in these I-85 races, and it looks like it'll pay off for you here tonight, letting those guys wreck out, and you'll bring home a top 5.
Yeah, that was kind of the trick. We knew we had plenty of pace. I don't know where pole pace came from. I'm never a good qualifier, so even that surprised me a little bit, but we knew there was a lot of speed in this number 6 M&D. Just had to wait. Knew that keeping the right rear underneath it was really tough because the grip was there. The grip was there if you wanted to lay into it and really light up the right rear on corner exit, and that would be good for speed for 10 or 15 laps, and then you were hanging on for dear life. So it was, trying to wait, trying to bide my time, and then unfortunately had a little incident with the 61 there. Nothing, I haven't looked at the replay, but I don't feel like he did anything wrong there. We were just racing hard side by side, battling for position there, and almost had it gathered up, and then when I got into him the second time, that was what upset my car. So, that'll happen on a flat little bull ring like this from time to time, and had to kind of avoid the wrecks and pick my way back through the field, and pretty happy with a P4. I don't know if without the incident, if we had anything for the 40 or not. Obviously, we were all kind of riding there for that long green flag run, so I don't know what he really had. He probably still had his. I'll tell you what, that 92, he might have had us all covered, but obviously he was got tangled up in a couple of wrecks, not of his doing. And I hate that for him. So overall, good night. Shout out to Me Fine, supporting families and patients at Duke, UNC, and Wake Med Children's Hospital, riding aboard as always. Binks Designs, everybody that makes this M&D Motorsports operation go, and I'm a little confused, I'll be honest. Normally I feel a lot more comfortable in the late model than the modified, and here I am 2 top 5s to start the modified season, so I don't know who's possessed me and turned me into a modified driver, but hopefully we can keep this momentum going and take it to, I guess that would be
New Smyrna. New Smyrna.
Oh, New Smyrna. Oh, hell yeah, I can't wait to go to New Smyrna in 2 weeks. Then that'll be a good time.
Well, Zach, because you rattled it off because you're the picture perfect interviewer that we always get here on the I-85 network. Obviously, congratulations on your first pole here at the modifieds. We do know you're more of the late model guy, but maybe all those late model laps is kind of teach you a little bit more here on the modified side. I know the modifieds aren't really your thing. You're more of the stock car kind of guy. Even though I know you're a big open wheel fan, we ain't gonna discredit that. You're a big open wheel guy.
I'll tell you what, Neil. I really do think Lanier is a track the pavement sprint cars go to a ton in the official series that runs on Tuesdays and Thursday nights here on the iRacing service. So I've turned a lot of laps here. It's usually in a car moving a little bit quicker with a ton more stagger that's trying to kill me a lot more, but I've turned a lot of laps here. I do think that helps some.
Well, it definitely helped you here. We're getting the pole and in a top 5 finish here. Good points there, coming out with the short field. So, congratulations on all of that, and hopefully we'll see you maybe a couple spots ahead at New Smyrna.
Yeah, hopefully, and I know obviously, especially with this being the I-85 series, a lot of guys couldn't be here tonight with the weather we had today. Hopefully they get everything taken care of there, and we can have more of a field like we saw at Los Angeles there in New Smyrna in 2 weeks, because obviously that'll make it a lot more fun. Obviously harder to get back up here and try to get these top 5 finishes, but it's more fun when we've got 20-some cars here, so hopefully we see some of those guys back here in 2 weeks' time down in Florida.
And we appreciate you, Zach Evans, doing the interview as always. One more quick question for me, just curious. Is there any relations between you and the 48? See the similar, same last name.
There is not. We joke that we're cousins a lot, but we are not related. I don't even know where he lives or anything like that. I don't think we live anything close to each other. There are a bunch of Evanses where I live, back in Johnston County, but I don't think we're related to Aaron Evans or his clan of Evanses. But shout out to any of the Evanses of mine who might be watching. I'm sure there are none of them, but who knows? And hey, after about 2 races after New Smyrna, we go to Oswego and then we go to Southern National. That's home sweet home for me, so I'll definitely be looking forward to that one.
Yes, sir. And that'll be the number 6 of Zach Evans, fan favorite here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the I-85 Asphalt Series. He'll bring home the 4th place position. Let's go down here to the number 48 Hooters Modified of Aaron Evans, who had a long day here tonight at the Lanier.
Dylan Thomas is 5th.
Oh, excuse me, Dylan Thomas. Whoa, he's not on the racetrack for me, but my apologies. There is a Discord that I should look at. That is my apologies, Dylan. The number 03 of Dylan Thomas now joins us. A top 5 finish for you here tonight. Kind of walk us through your race there. We've seen you going back and forth with Dakota Pignataro there with the last 40 laps or so. Contact was made, kind of got a pop in the ass end. Kind of walk us through what you've seen out the front windshield of your modified here tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a real fun race. It was a lot of back and forth. I got shoved around. I shoved some guys around. I didn't want to. I apologize to them, but we went back and forth and was able to get back up to the top 5.
Yeah, Dylan, I know, you were one of our drivers here struggling to get in here before the race. We're glad to see you out there. You had a good battle, though. You fought up front for a little bit. I know you run around on other series, and you're pretty good in our late models, and back-to-back weeks there running pretty good laps here with the modifieds. Almost had it won last week at LA Coliseum. Obviously, some things happened later in the race, but another good top 5 here. You're looking to be like one of our strong competitors throughout this year.
I hope to be. I hope I can clean it up. I normally run on VR. I was on monitor tonight, was experiencing some problems, so I apologize to 92. That's why I got into him. I didn't realize how close I was to him, and when I realized I had his ass end jacked up, he was already around. So we'll get that fixed, and we'll come back and clean things up.
Yeah, that's the driver number 03 of Dylan Thomas. Dylan, if there's any sponsors, anything like that you want to go ahead and throw out there on top of your modified here for the broadcast, go ahead and do it.
I gotta thank Banks Designs and everybody on the side of this car.
Easy as that.
Easy as that. Neil, it will be. That's the driver, the number 03 of Dylan Thomas here, guys, from Denison, Texas, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll scoot out here now to our sixth-place finisher, driver of the number 48 Hooters Modified. And that was my apologies just a moment ago. Aaron, as you join in us with her, the topic for you tonight was absolutely long because accident prone, you were knocked down pit lane, you lost the lap, and was able to come back and get a lap through the lucky dog and finish here in the sixth place position. Just don't even know where to begin, where to start with the number 48 machine. Kind of walk us through your night.
Well, I honestly don't know. I got in, I put the brake bias all the way back. As little as I used the brake, it still helped. And I felt like I was going good. Felt like I had the pace to run up there with everybody, and then it was either total the car or go down pit lane and just hope for another caution eventually. And I think I made the wise decision there. And then just a few accidents that kept me away from getting back to the lead lap, and then I had that one contact where it knocked my front left completely out of geometry, symmetry, whatever you want to call it, out of whack. So I was kind of driving on three wheels all the way to the end.
Hey, I mean, three wheels, you know, you were, like you said, you were a couple laps down there due to the contact. You know, obviously getting pushed down pit road definitely is not where you want to be, especially at high speeds there. But you were able to keep it going. You got your lap back, you know, coming home with the wrecked race car, still P6. You know, you can't be upset about that one after, you know, a performance at LA that probably wasn't the best, you know, new to the series. But for the most part, you know, you gathered it up and you know, came home with a top 6, which is good points tonight.
Yeah, it felt good. A lot more comfortable around a track that has, well, a little bit of banking, and that is a little bit bigger than a quarter, it feels like, so.
Well, that'll be the number 48 of Aaron Evans. Aaron, I want to say congratulations to you. An awesome race here tonight. Unfortunate event, getting knocked down pit lane there and happened to get a lap back, but you've done it. An awesome job here. We'll head to New Smyrna 2 weeks from now, or will we hope to see that 48 up there contending?
Yep, I hope so too. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir. That'll be the driver of the number 48 of Aaron Evans, who will round out our final sixth-place spot here tonight, Neil. And looks like that'll do it here for our driver interview portion part of tonight's event.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an eventful one. You know, we had our longest green flag racing that we've had with the modifieds on this season. You know, now we're gonna start going to some bigger tracks here, more room. You know, we got a bunch of big hitters coming. New Smyrna is gonna be a good one. That's a lot of drivers here have a lot of track time there, so that should be probably one of our best races, I believe, on the schedule. You know, obviously Stafford and all those other tracks are gonna be good too, because, you know, we're trying to get these guys on some tracks that they're comfortable with. But I'm looking forward to New Smyrna.
I'm looking to get down to Florida as well, Neil, where the sun will be beating, shining down on the modifieds. Hopefully, we'll have an action-packed racing night when we get there. If I'm not mistaken, I know you probably don't have the results up on your screen immediately, so if you want to stick around for the final results that I'm about to go over for, you can, and/or you can go ahead and lead the business.
I got it here if you want to rifle them off.
And we'll rifle them off here. We'll go through. We'll start with tonight's feature driver of the number 40 tonight, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Johnson picks up his first WHELEN Modified Division win, and on the second place position, finishing behind him, was the 61 of Patrick McPeak.
You got to do Chris. You know I'm going to butcher his name.
I get it. I've seen it sometimes. Chris Schaffner from High Point, North Carolina, will bring home the third place
Chris.
spot.
We love you over here. Yeah, fourth place, we have Zach Evans. Rounding out our top 5, we have Dylan Thomas. And then in rounding off sixth place, obviously, we just heard him there. Aaron Evans, no relations to Zach Evans. So the Evans boys are not related.
Adam Peeler will bring home the 7th place position from Landrum, South Carolina. He scored that LCQ heat race tonight here, win tonight here, Neil, with Mike Doyle bringing home that 8th place position from Middletown, New Jersey, right behind him.
Yep, 9th place, we got Lane Woods. And following up in the top 10, we got Dakota Pignataro.
And rounding out the 11th place position here tonight was Nate Hall. That 18 battled some handling conditions here. He'll continue to work on that number 18 modified and gain some experience here in the modified division. Cody Klauser from Baltic, Connecticut brings home the 12th place position here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and you can round out the next 2.
I think we're going to need someone to sponsor Cody Klauser in this for us, guys. He's going to need a new hood. We had him upside down. He has joined the I-85 flip team. Wild ride for him. Scared me up in the booth. Definitely a wild one. P13, we got Grayson Underwood, and rounding out our field of 14 drivers is Joshua Moore.
And Josh Moore will be our final driver here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And speaking of that flip we had earlier, Cody Klauser declined comment with our pit reporter as he took his trip to the infield care center. Not happy with the way that he was racing. Neither was a lot of these drivers here tonight, Neil, and we cannot blame them. However, though, the green flag racing that we did get brought some action-packed racing.
Yeah, I definitely thought, obviously the restarts here, they're very tricky with the short box and everything like that. But I thought the racing was good. I saw a lot of give and take from people, which is, what we definitely want to see here after, the LA Coliseum debacle. But other than that, it was great racing. A lot of drivers earning some respect with some of our new guys. So, you can't complain. We're only on night 2, gentlemen. We got 8 more races here. A lot of action pack is going to come.
Action-packed racing for sure. 2 weeks from now, Neil, we will head to the New Smyrna Speedway, follow it up with Oswego and then Southern National. I asked you this 2 weeks ago in the late model stock division. What was going to be your favorite race you were looking forward to? You told me you could not wait to get the Southern National in the late model. So what track do you see on the schedule that you what did you find would be one of the best ones here, especially with some real-life modified seat time?
So I've been to New Smyrna. I've been to Oswego. Never been to Southern National, but Southern National to me is going to be still is my bucket list here for the late models. That's still going to be their best show, I think, here. I think you're going to go back to Concord. I think Concord's going to be a strange one with the triangle. Drivers are going to learn how to get big arcs and everything like that. So I'm going to circle Concord here on my favorite one.
So Concord for Mr. Neil Rutt, and it'll be Oswego 2 weeks after New Smyrna for me. Can't wait to get to New York and see that awesome racetrack turn dirt track at times. Looks like that'll do it here tonight, Neil, for us up here in the booth on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This has been the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. You want to go ahead and tell them to check it out tomorrow, what to check out tomorrow night, Neil?
Yeah, everyone here, we will be back tomorrow, same time around 9:15 for the limited late model stocks for the I-85 Dash for Cash for them. We'll be at South Boston. It's going to be a tire cutter. Drivers are going to have to save those right fronts. That's a concrete track. It's going to tear them up. I know the Smart Tour in real life is going there this weekend, so that'll be a good event if you're in the area. If not, make sure you check us out here tomorrow night.
Check us out here tomorrow night live from what's going to be an awesome action-packed race. Number 2, Dash for Cash for the late model stock division. 107 laps led here tonight for Michael Johnson. He'll win his first modified race. We'll see you tomorrow night live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel.